Hi everyone, welcome to week 1 of Marketing 120. Before we get into the chapters and the concepts, I want to start out with a question. And it's something I want you to think about before we say anything else. I want you to think about the last time you saw a Nike ad, or the last time you put something on with that swoosh. And I want you to notice, what did you feel? Now, I would say most people will usually say motivated, like I could actually do something, or I belong to something, or some people might say it made them feel more like an athlete, even if they aren't. Nobody says, I really felt a sense of brand equity. Nobody thinks about that. But here's the thing, Nike is thinking about that every single day. And the fact that you feel motivated or inspired or part of something, that is not an accident. That is a result of very deliberate strategic work that most consumers will never see. That gap between what you feel and what the company actually did to create the feeling is where the marketing lives. So let's dive in. All right, so Nike makes shoes, they make apparel, they make gear, but that's not what they're selling. Nike's official statement is to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. And then there is an asterisk. The asterisk says, if you have a body, you are an athlete. Think about that again. They did not say to make the world's best running shoes. They did not even mention products. Their mission is about a feeling. It's about an identity, about who you believe you can be. That's a single decision, defining their mission around a human belief rather than a product. And that opens the door to everything that Nike has ever done. Training apps, youth sports programs, community clubs, digital ecosystems. A company with a very narrow product mission cannot do any of that without a major reinvention. Nike never had to reinvent because they started with purpose, not with product. Go ahead and go on YouTube and try to find a few more of Nike's commercials and see the range at which they are able to capture that feeling. And here's a question just to have this whole week as you move through your day. If Nike had defined its mission as simply making great athletic wear or a great athletic footwear, where do you think they would be able to be today? So chapter 2 has a name for what Nike did right. It's called a market-oriented mission statement, and one that defines the business in terms of what it does for customers, not what it makes. That distinction shapes every decision that flows from it. So chapter 1 gives us the framework for this course, and it is called the 5-step customer value process. And I want to walk through each step using Nike so it becomes a lot more concrete than abstract. So step 1 is to understand the marketplace and your customers. So Nike does not make shoes for people who need shoes. They make products for people who have a specific identity around movement, ambition, self-improvement. They spend serious resources understanding what motivates their customers at a level much deeper than just, I need athletic footwear. That deeper understanding is step 1. Step 2 is to design a customer-driven strategy. This is where you decide who you are going to serve and what you are going to offer them. So Nike decided that they are for the athlete in everyone, and that positioning decision shapes everything else downstream. Step 3 is to build an integrated marketing program. This is what most people think marketing starts with: the campaigns, the product launches, the partnerships. But notice that by the time Nike runs an ad, they have already done steps 1 and 2. The communication follows the strategy. It does not create it. Step 4, you want to engage customers and build relationships. So Nike Run Club, Nike Training Club, Nike members. These are not just apps. They are how Nike turns a transaction into a relationship. Once you are tracking your runs in their ecosystem, you are invested in a way that goes way beyond buying a shoe. Step 5, capture value in return. This is where the company benefits. Sales, loyalty, long-term customer equity. Nike captures enormous value because they created enormous value first. That sequence matters. Value out, then value back, in that order. All right, so now chapter 2 zooms out from customer relationship and asks a bigger question. How does marketing fit inside what the whole company is trying to do? The answer is that marketing is not just a department, it is a philosophy. The marketing concept says that everything a company does should revolve around understanding and serving its target customer better than anyone else. That sounds obvious, but in practice, most companies default to inside-out thinking. We built this, now let's find somebody to sell it to. The marketing concept flips that to outside in. Here is what the customer needs, now let's build it. Chapter 2 also introduces the SWOT analysis, which you've probably seen before. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Nike is actually a really interesting SWOT case right now. The textbook notes that Nike faces slowing growth and a real competitive pressure in 2025 and launched what they call a win now strategy. They went back to bold emotional campaigns. They went back to their roots. That is a company doing real-time strategic analysis and course correcting. The big idea from chapter 2 that I want you to carry forward is this: strategy comes before tactics. Always. You cannot make good decisions about how to communicate or price or distribute until you know who you are serving and what you are trying to accomplish for them. The rest of this course follows that logic in sequence. I want you to notice something about the textbook that you have, because in this new edition, there is, it's the first edition that has a dedicated AI section. And that's not a small thing. The authors are really telling you that AI is not a side topic now. It is a restructuring of how marketing actually works. Nike's a good example here too. Their sneakers app, which is how they release limited edition drops, uses AI to personalize the experience differently to different users. Their pricing systems adjust in real time based on market signals. Their analytics team processes data from hundreds of millions of interactions to inform decisions about partnerships, product lines, and messaging. But here is what I want you to hold on to, and we will come back to this every week. AI is extraordinarily good at optimization. It is good at giving you more of what you already worked. What it cannot do is ask, what should we be building? It cannot judge whether a campaign is ethical, or whether a pricing decision will damage trust, or whether a brand is losing its identity by chasing short-term metrics. Those are human questions, and those are marketing questions. So yes, AI is going to be a big part of how you work in this field. And yes, we are going to engage directly with AI in this course, but the goal is to develop the judgment that makes AI useful rather than just fast. The strategy is yours, the algorithm executes it. All right, so that is week 1. This is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be reading chapters 1 and 2. Read them in order. Chapter 2 really builds on chapter 1 and makes a lot more sense once you have the framework from chapter 1. The forum this week is a video. You will record about a 2-minute or less video. You'll introduce yourself. You will introduce the brand that you have chosen for your final project, and also tell us something about yourself. We are just getting to know each other and getting to know the brand, so this is a very low bar. It's just pass-fail, whether you do it or not. Your assignment this week is called Marketing in Action, and the instructions are in Canvas. And it is a short piece where I want you this week to really be recognizing the marketing that's going on around you. You will also have a quiz, and that will be the assignments for this week. It will follow that format each week. And there is also one extra part that's part of the scaffolding for your final project that just gives you a little bit of a task to do each week that's ungraded that will help you with the final project.